Hey everybody out there, this is Seto, and today for you guys we're going to be doing a deck profile of a deck that I profiled on this channel a few years ago, back when Rhoda was at 3 of for a short time. And I'm going to redo this deck profile because it's based off a deck that I used to play many years ago, and that is my Mataza the Zapper deck profile. So I'm going to put this in the description, not the description, but I'm just going to let you know in advance. This deck is still a work in progress. This is something I've been playing around for the last 2 weeks online and a little bit in real life with a buddy of mine. I've been revisiting this deck due to some equip support we got out of Toon Chaos. You guys, that may give you an idea of where I'm going with this deck profile. And it's a really fun deck. It's a fun take. It's not supposed to be competitive. It's just pretty much trying to make an old school card that I used to love playing with Hayabusa Knight, Ben K, OTK, back in the day, those equip based decks. My favorite out of all of them was Mataza the Zapper. And I wanted to revisit him because I've always loved his artwork, loved the card in general. And I used to use him in Warrior Toolbox even for a bit. But yeah, I wanted to make a deck kind of based around him with some supporting cast cards. And so with the new equip support we got, that made it a little bit more viable to build something like this now, because it was very hard to approach this deck since Rhoda got hit to 3 of many years ago when I last revisited this deck. So hope you guys enjoy it. If you have any constructive criticism, I am open to it. I'm still testing things out in this deck, so it's a work in progress, so I just want to put that out there. So hope you guys enjoy it, and I'm going to go through this deck because it's kind of one of a kind. So first off, we run our 3 Mataza the Zapper. So what does this card do? Well, this card can attack your opponent twice, which is really cool. But he's a dark attribute, which back in the day with previous deck profiles was more important because you would run a light and dark engine, and then you could use BLS, Chaos Emperor Dragon, whatever you want to. So if you want to take the deck and make it more of a light and dark based engine, hey, go ahead and do that, guys. He can gain a bunch of equips, so pretty much the premise of him is you want to equip him with a bunch of equip cards, taking a lot of attack, and then you can do a lot of damage to your opponent by doing double swings. Pretty simple. He's better than Hayabusa Knight because he has 300 more attack. He's a warrior, he's a dark attribute. Some people like Big Ben OTK, which is a thing, but I like Mataza the Zapper. His other effect is he pretty much can't be mind controlled. So if they try to mind control him or something, they can't do it. So, yep, that's Mataza the Zapper. Next we run 3 Goblinberg. Goblinberg is here for 2 reasons. A, he can precipitate going into some rank 4 plays, which is cute. He's also going to help precipitate United We Stand. He's also going to precipitate other things such as, I guess you could say, helping go for rank 4s, link plays, just helping go for Isolde, things of that nature. We also run 1 Trident Warrior. I was debating about running 2 of this, but this works very well with Mataza the Zapper because you can normal summon him, then bring out Mataza the Zapper from your hand, and then you can go for United We Stand or something, and you're going to gain a lot of attack. So it's there just in case. So these are pretty much Isolde playmakers and United We Stand playmakers, and just general link exceed fodder, rank 4 fodder. We also run 2 Photon Thrasher as well. This, like I said again, works with United We Stand, works with going for rank 4s, works for going for link plays. That's what this here is for, okay? Multiple different reasons there. So that's just a generic warrior engine, I guess you could say. Next up, we run, because I did mention Toon Chaos, we run a little bit of the Gearfried engine, the Fire Warrior engine, which is a little bit expensive right now, and I understand. But I'm not running the ones you're thinking I'm running, which is interesting. So at this point in time, we don't have a lot of other warrior fire monster support. That's not where this deck is going per se. This deck is focusing on Mataza the Zapper. It's not a fire warrior ignoble knight based deck. That's not what this deck profile is. It's not ignoble knights. It's Mataza the Zapper deck profile. Please keep that in mind. But this guy works well with equip-based monsters and equip-based strategies, so that's why we run 3 of him. And he's very, very good. So we run 3 of this. And in addition to that, I run 2 Roland, which works well, and just 1 Infernal Knight Red Near. If you're running Ignoble Knights, you guys know you usually sometimes just run 1 of him and 3 of him. This is a little bit of the inverse of the opposite because I'm trying to find the proper ratios, and because the way this deck is functioning and what it's trying to do, I find this is a little bit more useful than him. He's pretty much here because of his effect, and he can be used as fodder for link plays. Not so much going for synchro plays. But if you want to take this deck in a little bit different direction, maybe tweak it a little bit, hey, you could easily take it into a little bit of a different direction. That's up to you to decide out there as the viewer and the subscriber watching this video. But like I said, I wanted to focus this deck on Mataza Zapper, not so much on the Ignoble Knights. So just putting that out there. Next we run 3 Ash Blossom and Joyous Springs. This just gives you a little bit of negation for the deck, slows your opponent down. This deck is in the truest sense, it's a going second deck. And Ash Blossom is going to work well because of that reason. I was thinking of running Effect Failure, but I wanted to run other cards. So 3 Ash Blossom. Next up, we're going to run 3 Supremacy Sword. I can never pronounce this card, but this recently came out as well. Now this card's pretty decent. If you read the effect, it's pretty decent, especially in this base deck because it helps you protect Mataza Zapper to some degree. And in addition to that, it can be used with Isolde for sending it to graveyard. It's just a nice little package type of card to run in the deck. And I really, really like it for that reason. So, for that reason alone, I'm running 3 of it because it gives you protection. I'll read you the 2 effects, guys. Attack position. Your opponent can't target the equipped monster for card effects. Nice. Defense position. The equipped monster can't be destroyed by battle. At the start of the battle phase, you can change the equipped monster's battle position. If you do, immediately after this card resolves, normal summon 1 monster. Okay, that's nice, which means you get to do cute little plays going around here. You can only apply the effect of it once per turn. So these little cute plays you can do, the little protection things you can do, it's really nice, and I like it in this deck, which is why I run 3 of this card. It's kind of underrated in my opinion as an equip spell and equip-based strategies. Next, I run 2 Power of the Guardian. This is going to give you more protection for your Mataza Zapper, etc. And it'll also give it a little bit more attack, which is nice. So that's cool. So 2 Power of the Guardian. We're also running 2 United We Stand. United We Stand's amazing in this deck because of the ability of this deck to swarm. You're going to just gain a bunch of attack, and Mataza Zapper is just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and then you're just going to be smacking your opponent's head down with a big sword, so to speak. So 2 United We Stand. It used to be running this deck in its inception, and I still had to run it into 2020. And it's still decent. Next, I run 1 Magnum Shield. It's nice. It's cool. I like it. 1 Moon Mirror Shield. In addition to that, these are just one of equips because just in case something goes wrong and your opponent brings out a big monster, you can just equip this to anything and run over it. It's just nice to have. So just 2 other good ones. I was thinking about running Living Fossil, but it doesn't really work with the aspect of this deck because it's an offensive deck. It's not running normal equips that you would run in maybe a standard Isolde warrior type of deck like you would have a few months ago. This is doing it a little bit differently. So like I said, you have to keep an open mind and as you build in this deck. Next, I run 2 Gearfried. This card is really nice as a 2 of in the deck for the versatility it gives. Instead of conducting a normal draw phase, maybe you have a board established, you can add an equip from your deck. That's nice. I've had situations where I'm like, I don't need a draw, I have my board established. Okay, cool. I'm just going to have United We Stand and just kill your butt right now with Mataza Zapper and his friends, so to speak. So I like this card. It's versatile for the different things you can use it for. And I like it as a 2 of because 3 of gets way too cloggy. But as a 2 of, I really like it. The same thing goes with Crossover. Crossover helps you steal your opponent's monsters and equip them and get rid of problematic situations and problematic monsters. So I like crossover in the deck, and it's very nice to have. I like these two cards. They recently came out of Toon Chaos. For generic equip base decks, they're really, really good, and so I like them as 2 and 2 of. I find that I really wanted to run crossover as a 3 of, but I like it just as a 2 of after playtesting more. So those are some other cards we run in the deck as just doubles. We also run 3 Pot of Extravagance. Now you may say, why are you running Pot of Extravagance? Don't you go for Isolde? Yes, we do. But you're not going, besides Isolde, I'm going to be honest with you, and maybe a rank 4 here and there, you're not going to go for the extra deck that much. You're mainly focused on the main deck, and for that reason, Pot of Extravagance works well in this deck. So, because of the Ignoble Knight support, and because Extravagance got reprinted at the same time, I was happy because I could put this deck together finally. It's been something I've had on the back burner for a while, but Extravagance is going to give you some draw power in this deck for a deck that's not extra deck reliant per se, except for one card, really. Isolde. Like Isolde and maybe a rank 4 you'll go for per duel. So 3 Extravagance, 1 Reinforcement of the Army, and 1 Monster Reborn. It's a warrior based deck. You got to run Rhoda and Monster Reborn because you're going to have combo plays and combo things you can do. So run Monster Reborn. Armory Call. This is something I'm really liking in this deck after playtesting. I really like this card a lot. It's very useful. I would run it as a 1 of or a 2 of in the deck, but the more I've playtested this deck, the more I've played it, I've really liked it more and more. So Armory Call is really nice because it helps you add equips. It can be used, and the fact that it's a trap card is actually not a downside. That's the cool thing, because there's been situations where I'm like, okay. Armory Call? Okay. Do this, add this equip to this monster? Oh crap. I'm like, yeah, now you've done your play, you thought you were going to do something, and then Armory Call sets something up so you can't do what you wanted to initially do. So I like this card, and don't underestimate it being a trap. It's actually a good trap. So yeah. And next we run 3 Infinite Impermanents. It's good if you're going first because, like I said, this is going second deck. So if you draw this card in your opening hand, you can still use it because you have no cards on field. It's nice in that aspect. And secondly, it's just nice if your opponent does make you go first. You can set up some good, okay first boards, but it's just nice there because it'll give you some additional negation. So even once you have your board established, so say you went second, you attacked, did a bunch of damage, but you didn't kill your opponent, but you had Infinite Impermanence in hand. You set the Infinite Impermanence, and in case your opponent tries to out that board using an effect monster or something, you can negate it. And it saved my bacon a lot more than you think. And I was debating between Impermanence and Effect Veiler. Impermanence and Effect Veiler, and I went with Impermanence because it's just a little bit better with some of the applications I was finding myself in from playtesting. So that's just my thoughts on it. So 3 Infinite Impermanents. And so that's the main deck, guys. Like I said, it's kind of still a work in progress, but it's been working out pretty well for me. Next up, I run 1 Dark Magician Girl as our field center. I run Tornado Dragon and Bagasucha, as well as Castel, the Sky Musketeer, and Evil Swarm. I'll put him right here. Evil Swarm Exciton Knight. Blow up the board. Just good generic rank 4s. 3 Isolde, Isolde, the Tales of Noble Knights, the 2 Tales of Noble Knights. We run 3 of this Isolde because Isolde is going to be your main link monster you're going to go for. I'm going to be honest with you guys. You're going to go for Isolde out of all your extra deck cards, probably the most. So you need to run it just in case you banish one. We also run Nightmare Phoenix, Nightmare Cerberus, Nightmare Unicorn. We run Boral Sword Dragon, which is nice. We also, in addition to that, run Blackluster Soldier of Chaos, which is your rank 3, your level, link 3, in addition to Unicorn. We run Appaloosa, the Boar of the Goddess, and then I decide to run, because this is an OT base deck, a second Bull Sword. That's something I have been debating about, but you can go between that and Axis Code Talker if you want to. I just wanted to discuss that for a second because right now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So that's why I wanted to discuss this with you guys, because I sometimes run the second one here, or if you want to, maybe you want to run another additional rank 4. So use this 15th slot because, for any other card you want to double up on. I would suggest you. Maybe a Unicorn, maybe a Phoenix, maybe a Cerberus, you find yourself more in the situations. Maybe that's something you want to do just to protect yourself against extravagance. Or maybe you want to make it a more OTK focused deck, so you run double bore sword. That's up to you to decide. But like I said, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Use the 15th slot as you will. I'm using it for the second bore sword because I want an OTK. So that's the main deck, guys. Forgive me if I miscount it in the extra deck, but I wanted to just discuss that with you guys. Because I was talking with a buddy of mine, and he's like, hey, maybe you should leave that open for the viewer to decide what they want to run, just in case they feel not comfortable with running duplicates of, with things with extravagance. And I said, I understand that completely. So I want to discuss that at the end of the video. Like I said, it's a work in progress, but I love this deck. It's fun. It's awesome. It's cool. It's unique. I definitely know nobody's built this deck at all, so using my noggin to build this deck straight up. But till next time, guys, take care and good luck dueling to all of you, and go Mataza Zapper!